Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon. Good evening and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Enjoying your day, making it amazing, as you should. We got some breaking news. The verdict has come in, y'all. The verdict has come in. And I know a lot of y'all are going to be shocked. And I know that a lot of y'all won't be surprised, won't be shocked. No matter what side of the fence you stand on, if you think this man is guilty or no, nonetheless, we do have a verdict. And we have got to talk about this, y'all. We got to talk about it. As you can see the title up above, down below, you already know the deal. You already know what we're talking about. But again, very, very surprised. And then not at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. But we're going to talk about this, y'all. Crazy. But it just dropped just a little bit ago. The verdict. I mean, shoot. I'm hold on. Let me look at this really quick just to see when the last time it was reported. Yeah, it's about 30 minutes old or so. About 40 minutes, 45 minutes fresh. Okay. Just found out about this. I was in the middle of running a whole bunch of errands and I had to run in here and tell you guys the story and the news. And some of you guys might think, it's kind of halvesies because he's guilty and not guilty. It's half yes and half no. It's very interesting. We're going to be talking about it in just a minute. So do me a favor. It'd be greatly appreciated. Hit that like button down below. Hit it. If you're watching on Facebook, hit that reaction button. That'd be greatly appreciated. But this is breaking. This just broke. I've been sitting and waiting for this. Ain't it funny? As soon as you think, nothing's going to happen, you leave to go take care of stuff. And next thing you know, that's when they drop all the information. Well, that happened to me today. And now I'm here to give you guys the information that you need. So please hit that like button down below. Please and thank you. Don't forget to hit that reaction button if you're watching on Facebook or anywhere else you are watching. Please be sure to hit that like button if you're watching on X, etc. Okay? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you hit that follow button. If you're watching on any of the other platforms, please hit those, the respective follows or likes or whatever it is to make sure you are known. Make sure you know whenever I go up and live to support this channel. Of course, hit that notification bell if you're watching on YouTube so you know whenever I go live as well. Okay? Whew. Okay, let's get into this, guys. Oh my Lord. I think there's a lot of things that were put into play to paint a very interesting narrative, which I think is one of the reasons why it slowed a lot of decisions down as far as the verdict. Because of course they were out for deliberation Thursday. They had all Friday and then they had today. And still they were able to come in here and come up with some sort of decision. Now, the question is it because of the evidence that was presented? Not only just the videos, not only just the surveillance footage that we all saw together, but could it be because of the extra stuff like the screenshots of the text messages that were sent back and forth between him and Grace Jabari? Could it have been because of that too? I mean, I got a lot of questions about this. Okay. I got a lot of questions. Okay. And I know this splits the room. This whole thing splits the room. But I got two different articles that I want to share with you guys. Okay. two different ones. Again, this definitely splits the room. Understandably so. All right. Everyone has their particular opinion about this situation, but he has been found guilty. Okay. But he's been found guilty on 2 of the 4 counts that he was looking at. Okay. So, for example, they're saying he's found guilty on 1 count of reckless A. We got to use these code words. So I'm going to read this article here really quick. Okay. So a jury found actor Jonathan Majors guilty on 2 of 4 counts in the New York criminal case stemming from a domestic dispute with his former girlfriend. Majors was convicted on Monday of 1 count of reckless A in the 3rd degree and a non-criminal charge of H as a violation. He was acquitted on another A charge and 1 count of aggravated H. His sentencing is scheduled for February 6th of next year. Now, they reached out to a representative for this article, reached out for a representative of that represents, of course, Majors for a comment. Of course, they're still trying to see what they have to say about everything. And I'm wondering if Jonathan Majors is going to speak out and say anything about this stuff. But the jury began deliberating on Thursday following closing arguments. Hold on. Let me take that down. So they were following closing arguments, deliberating after closing arguments, like I said, on Thursday. They deliberated for about 4.5 hours total before reaching a verdict. So they didn't deliberate that long. It wasn't that too tough. But they still deliberated, and then they came to a decision today. So the trial, which began December 4th, stems from a March domestic dispute involving Majors and his former girlfriend. We already know Grace Jabari. Majors had pleaded not guilty to misdemeanor charges of A and aggravated H. During closing arguments last week, prosecutors alleged Majors, quote unquote, didn't hesitate to use physical violence against Jabari in the March dispute when he grabbed Jabari's right hand, twisted her arm behind her back, and then, quote unquote, struck a blow to her head. That's what they said in their closing arguments. Major's attorney reiterated his innocence during her closing argument, calling the accusations against him, quote unquote, fake, and alleging that Jabari was the aggressor in the March dispute. Majors did not testify during the trial, but he was present in the New York City courtroom for the duration of the proceedings. According to the New York Times, Jabari testified on December 5th that Majors attacked her in the backseat of their car during their argument, which prosecutors said happened after Jabari saw a romantic text message, which we already know, "I wish I was kissing you right now," appeared on his phone from another woman, which we're all speculating, it's most likely Meagan Good. Majors was featured. We already know who he is and what he's done. Okay, so he is back to where the most important meat and potatoes of this. Okay, he's been found guilty of 2 of the 4 counts. Okay, stemming from this dispute that he had. So he was convicted on Monday of 1 count of reckless A and in the third degree, and a non-criminal charge of H as a violation. So my question, the question I have that's still stemming in me right now is, okay, he's been convicted of these counts. One is a non-criminal charge of H. Another one is a 1 count of reckless A in the 3rd degree. So I'm wondering, what would be his punishment? Of course, they say sentencing won't be until February 6th of next year, but I'm wondering, what is he facing? What kind of punishment, what kind of sentence is he looking at? Because one of them is a non-criminal charge of H. And like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I just play one on TV. I'm curious, what kind of punishment would he get? What's the severity of his punishment off of those two that he's been found guilty of, especially when you have the non-criminal charge of H as a violation, because it's non-criminal. So I'm wondering, is it a financial? Does he have to pay, throw up some money kind of thing? I'm quite curious about that. Any lawyers out there that are watching the show, let me know. But I'm thinking that it's going to be money. He's just going to have to fork over money. But the other thing, though, too, most importantly, let's not forget, this tarnishes his entire brand, his look, etc. Does he continue working with Marvel? Does Marvel, Disney, and whatnot, do they just sit there and say deuces to him, saying, hey, buddy, it's been real, very talented guy, but you're going to have to go this way. Good luck. We're going to find another Kang, or we're going to use, I don't know, we're going to use another villain, and start a different narrative in the Marvel movies, which, I mean, how many people are still really watching those Marvel movies? No disrespect, but in my opinion, this is going to tarnish his career. This is going to ruin the career he's been working so diligently on building. It's a wrap for him now. That's just what I think. And so I feel I'm it's upsetting. It's upsetting because you see somebody who has a lot of talent, who has had the potential of a huge future, and now, not so much no more. Okay? Not so much anymore. Potentially. Again, plenty of other dudes have been out here, plenty of other people, actors, celebrities out here that have done some bad things or have been guilty of something, whatever, doesn't matter on what side of the fence you stand on, but they still have been able to go out there and continue pursuing a career, continue acting, continue doing movies, but they're not the headliners no more. You're gonna hear Jonathan Majors as like the 10th bill, okay, on the list. He'll just be playing that small part, and it's like, oh, ain't that Jonathan? That was Jonathan Majors in that one small piece. Okay, cool. He got a couple grand to act. Cool, good for him. But a lot of times, they're just like a small piece, a small part in a movie. And they're kind of thrown, they're not even getting their name isn't out there on the billboards like it used to. So it sucks because he had opportunities, and it looks like those opportunities could be dwindling away because of this. It's not good. But let's take a look at this article here too, and again, I was just about to say this, but Lizzie, exactly. I have a feeling he's going to appeal. But at the same time, the verdict is here. The verdict is out. It's out in the public. Everybody and their mama is going to know about this now. Everybody and their mama know this now. Everybody. So his brand, his name is getting dragged through the dirt right now. It's been getting dragged through the dirt. But now the fact that he is being found guilty on 2 of those counts, 2 of those charges, ay chihuahua. If he came out vindicated, this might be a different story. But he's still being found guilty of 2 of them. That's not good. But let's take a look at this article here too, okay? So Jonathan Majors, of course, found guilty of A and H. And of course, we got to use these code words. I'm sorry, guys. That's just how the game works, unfortunately, on these platforms, okay? And again, I will say this too. Both of them are smaller. You got a 3rd degree. It's not 1st degree, and you have a non-criminal charge as well. But still, no matter what, this is not going to be good for his brand. Let's take a look at this article real quick. So, a New York jury found Marvel actor Jonathan Majors guilty of reckless A and in the 3rd degree and guilty of H. And I'm still wondering where this part comes. Non-criminal, okay, as this one said, non-criminal charge of H as a violation. Non-criminal. Just want to make that abundantly clear. So the verdict was reached by a 6-person jury after roughly over 4 hours of deliberation spread across 3 days. Jonathan Majors wearing gray suit and blah, blah, blah. Meagan Good was there. He was found not guilty of intentional A in the third degree and not guilty of aggravated H in the second degree. Sentencing, we already know. So those are the other two that he was able to dodge. He was found not guilty of the other two charges, okay, which was intentional A in the third degree and aggravated H in the second degree. Sentencing is set for February 6th. Okay, Majors faced four charges of A, aggravated H, and H alone after he called 911 on March 25th when he said he found his ex-partner Grace Jabari unconscious in their apartment. Police arrested Majors after finding apparent injuries on Jabari, including a laceration behind her ear, and she had other marks on her body and allegedly a fractured finger, which we still don't know where that came from. Okay, we still do not know where that finger situation came from. Now, I mean, of course, there are people out here that are saying, "Oh no, she hit her head during this. You didn't see the footage where she hit her head at the club and all that." Personally, I have not seen any footage where she was at a club and she hit her head. On God, I have not seen that. So some people out here are seeing some things that I haven't even seen. Okay, and if you guys have it, send it my way. All right, but at the same time, I still am wondering where the finger came from, which could have happened during the two altercations that happened in the streets of New York City between her and, of course, Jonathan Majors, when he was trying to keep his phone away from Grace when she found out that he was cheating. Straight up. He was straight up cheating. Period. But let's continue. He pleaded not guilty, of course, to all these charges. Jabari took the witness stand for the first 4 days of the trial. See, I'm wondering, okay, let me finish this piece because I got a question about this. Said Majors had caused the injuries during the altercation in the car several hours before. She testified that the alleged incident occurred in a private car when she saw a text on Majors' phone that read, "We already know about all that." Jabari has said she tried to snatch the phone from Majors, who then pried her finger from the phone, grabbed her arm and right hand, twisted her forearm, and struck her head to get the phone away from her. The first 3 charges are misdemeanor offenses and related to alleged incidents in the car. The 4th charge of H, which is a violation, the most minor offense among the charges, relates to an allegation that he threw Grace back into the car as she tried to exit. The defense alleged that he placed her back in the car to stop her from running into traffic. That action is captured on surveillance video where the altercation inside the car was not captured on camera. Now, one thing I want to say, there's a bunch of breakdown in this piece right here. One of the things I got to ask, and of course, I'm going to ask this first. Please do me a favor, guys. I see a bunch of y'all in here, and I appreciate all your energy and your vibe and everything, okay? Please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Let's get it past 400 likes. That would really, really mean a lot. A like doesn't cost a thing. It just helps with the channel. It helps with this feed. It helps with this show. So please do me that favor. Hit that like button down below. It is free. It is on the free 99, okay? And of course, if you're watching on other platforms, hit that like button, react, etc. Of course, if you're watching on Facebook, hit that follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, please, okay? We talk about a lot of stuff on this channel. I still will be coming back and talking about the Ruby Franke court appearance where she did take a deal. She took a plea deal. We will be talking about that in a little while. So be on the lookout for that because we will be watching that as a family. And if you appreciate the stuff I'm doing, support. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Support the channel if you can. Let's get back into this article here. Now, I said right here, and I'm going to come back. We're going to look and dissect this piece here because I got some questions. Okay. First off, it's actually in the 2 paragraphs here. She says, or they say that she took the witness stand for the first 4 days of the trial. Of course, and then she, in her story, said, "This is all what happened to me. All this stuff went down. He did this. No, no, no." She breaks into tears, so on and so forth. She's upset. She's sad. All that crap, right? Understandably, her being upset, being cheated on, and all that stuff. That's a terrible, terrible thing to go through. Let's keep it a buck, okay? Outside of this mess, still finding out that the person that you love and all that crap is cheating on you is still a terrible feeling. She's reliving those things all up there on the stand. But at the same time, could she be using that opportunity to pull out these crocodile tears to woo or to finesse the jury? I leave that up to you. But my question here is, why didn't Jonathan Majors take the stand? Was that the worst move he could have ever made? Did defense make a bad decision on not letting Jonathan, or not making Jonathan Majors take the stand? I'm just saying, why wouldn't he go and take the stand? I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh, him guilty, him guilty." I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying, you have Jabari going up there for 4 days. She goes and takes the stand for says right here, witness stand. She's on there for 4 full days during the damn trial. So what perspective is the jury listening to the entire time? Don't worry, I'll wait. Actually, I'm not going to wait. They're only hearing hers. So of course, the jury might lean a little bit more towards her. Now, the other thing too is, we have not seen, from what I understand, we have not seen any other things from the defense except for security cam footage from clubs and from outside in the streets. We don't see any text messages that they put out here for everyone to see or anything of that sort. We only have one, which is the one from a long time ago that they put out, but they haven't put anything else out as of late. Everything else that we have seen has been very questionable, quote unquote, very damning, possibly very damning stuff, making the jury scratch their heads and go, wait a second. Is he a good guy or is he a bad guy? And then on top of that, you have her up there for 4 whole days and he doesn't take the stand? Not once? That's a bad move, y'all. That's just what I think. That's a very, very bad move. They should have changed their move, their plan, their game plan when they saw that she was going to take the stand. They should have been like, "Oh no, Jonathan, you taking the stand. We gonna coach you. We're gonna talk you through this ish. But hey, you need to hear the jury needs to hear your side of the story too. If you just stand here in silence, and I don't mean the term, okay, that court term, but if you just stay here and just stand in silence and don't say nothing, you're just letting them come up with their own verdict through what she has said. And you got a girl up there, who's already, a scorned lover. Let's keep it real. Sitting there going, leaking from the eyes and telling her story. And all they hear is hers. And he's sitting there going, I'm assuming he's going, nah, we got enough evidence, bruh. We good. I don't need to say nothing. With his face. So I don't know if this was the best move. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I just play one on TV. But at the same time, not the best move. I think this is where he shot himself in the foot. Also, you got to remember the lawyer that actually represented him is also the person that represented I think it was Jen Shah or something like that. And that girl's saw years behind bars. So was he represented by the right person? Asking for a friend. And I mean no disrespect, okay? Don't come at me Okay, lawyer, don't come at me, but I'm just saying. I am very shook with this whole situation. And I feel like there's so many opportunities that there could have been a different outcome. And I'm sure the outcome is not like he's going to go see the inside of a prison cell unless unless this judge is I don't know. But like I said, he's not going to be seeing the inside of a prison cell. He's going to probably have to do fines, community service, something like that. Counseling, maybe something like that. But other than that, he ain't going to walk inside a prison cell at all. But I will say, this is destroying his image. And this destroys how Disney and any other production houses continue to look at him from this point on. I got a little something I want to say about that in a little bit. I will, because I'm concerned about that. I'll explain why in a little bit. But real quick, let me get these super chats and super stickers. Thank you so much, Jeffrey Ebo. Thank you so much for being. Well, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for being so supportive. It's Albus. What's up, man? He just gifted 5 people Pascal Show family memberships. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family to all 5 of you who just joined by being gifted by our boy Albus. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. That really does mean a lot. Okay, let's get on into this article. But again, you hear about her being on the stand for 4 days straight. That is no bueno. Okay, Luz is no bueno. Okay, so let's continue. So the charges against Majors were brought by the state of New York rather than by Jabari herself. The case was a criminal trial rather than civil, meaning the burden of proof is higher for the jury, who had to find proof of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt on each charge. The arrest has already had implications on what had been the biggest year in Major's career, which included roles in, we already know his stuff, Ant-Man, Quantum Mania movie, Creed 3, the Loki season 2, all right? In the wake of his arrest, both his publicity firm, the led company, and managers at Management 360 dropped him. We already talked about this before, but that's very interesting, don't you think? That he's been dropped. And the Disney-owned Searchlight Features removed Magazine Dreams from its release calendar. In a statement after the verdict, an attorney for Jabari said that they were, quote unquote, gratified by the guilty verdict and hope it inspires other victims of A. We are gratified. They said, we are gratified to see justice served by today's guilty verdict. Ms. Jabari Grace testified publicly and truthfully, even though reliving these traumatic events on the witness stand was obviously painful. We are grateful to the jurors and the judge for their attention and patience, and to the Manhattan District Attorney's Office for their hard work and support. Ms. Jabari's resolve to see this case through to the end demonstrates her tremendous strength and resilience. I also think this is also hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I will say that too, in just my opinion. Unfortunately, for every survivor like Miss Jabari who comes forward to hold their ayer accountable, there are many others who believe that they cannot. We hope that her actions will inspire other survivors to speak their truth and seek justice. Now, one thing I want to say. We saw the footage. Now, of course, I have my own opinion. I understand you guys have yours. And absolutely, you have every right to have your opinion on all these things. No matter what, the common denominator of this whole thing is keep your doggone hands to yourself. Period, point blank. It doesn't matter if the person is trying to get the phone from you and all that. I mean, if you are literally trying to just get away. You get away. One thing I think that really destroyed Jonathan Majors in this situation is when he picked her up and put her in the car. That is the part that I think destroyed this whole thing. Sure, the text messages that they used that had nothing to do with the actual fight, the text messages were not used, were not made during the fight. They were not made they were not made right before the fight or even after the fight. The text messages where she says, my head hurts, I need to go get some painkillers and whatnot, right? That had nothing to do with that altercation, yet they used it. They used the audio of him sitting there going, I'm a great man. You need to be like Coretta Scott King. You need to be more like Michelle Obama. They used that stuff to paint this, to make it seem like this is a very manipulative and crazy individual that has no grip on reality in some sort of way. When he clearly knows that this woman is white, she is not a black woman. So they tried to change it and spin it in some sort of way. See this man? He crazy. And he's manipulating her. You see these text messages? He's manipulating this woman. He's verbally A-ing her in this audio that was recorded without his knowledge because she showed up half cocked in his crib. Probably, acting a damn fool, drunk as hell. Yet they used it to spin it, right? Spin the lens in some sort of way, right? Now, in the footage, going back to that, you see that this man, to me, is just trying to get away. What happens inside that car? We don't know what happens inside the car. Outside of the car, you see, from what I see, this is a man who is just trying to get away. He's not trying to be in there or anything. He's trying to get away. That's what I see. Again, the only part that I think is messed up in this situation is when he picks her up and puts her back in the car. And I think that's one of the things that the jury leaned on as well. But again, this is still hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. She was cheated on. She don't like that. She's angry about that. Clearly, this is a toxic relationship. God knows what's been brewing and brimming to the very top of this pot, percolating on the stove. We don't know how long this relationship has been percolating like this for a while, and things just went off like a powder cake that night. But again, that still does not justify putting your hands on any person. Do not put your hands on anyone. Keep your hands to yourself. Period. Unless you are literally trying to get away. There is, in my personal opinion, nothing wrong with you trying to get away from somebody who's just flailing at you. If they're doing this kind of stuff, you got to, you're doing this. You're doing this and you're trying to get away. I don't see A in that. Personally. Okay. But they prosecution leaned on certain things hard to bring in certain things so that the jury could look at it and go, well, he did this, but he didn't do that kind of situation. And they used that footage and the audio and those old text messages to paint a very interesting picture. One of the other things, and I'm going to say it again, and I don't care if I'm repeating myself, but he could have gone on to the stand and testified on his own behalf. And did he do that? No. That's where the screw up happened. Again, I am not a lawyer. I just play one on TV. But damn. I feel like I don't know. I feel like what I'm saying right now is a very bold thing to say, but I feel like a lot of lawyers would sit here and go, no, they should have just brought him up and let him say his piece. Coach him, make sure he knows what to expect, And then when he goes up to the stand to give his testimony, his side of things, it hopefully goes off without a hitch. You know what I mean? At least that's just what I think. But I guess we're going to see what happens from this point on. I don't know. Crazy. Okay. Crazy. Anyway, let's continue here. Okay. We got things, many miles to go before we sleep and all that. Okay. And many conversations. But yes, I am very, very shocked about this. Let's get back into this article here really quick. So during the trial, prosecutors approached this as a case of DV, while the defense repeatedly called Jabari's credibility into question and positioned it as an ex's revenge. Remember what I just said, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Okay. Majors appeared in person every day of the 2-week trial with Good and family members in attendance. He did not testify during the trial and showed a little emotion except for tearing up during the closing arguments from his attorney, Chaudhry. Okay. As she said, his fear of what happens when a black man in America calls 911 came true. And you know what? Let me be real. It was, I mean, that is kind of the thing that is pretty wild about this situation. I mean, he calls 911, all that stuff goes down, and then next thing you know, he is getting detained for this situation. Again, I feel like there was a lot. I don't see it as black and white, and I don't mean that racially. I just don't see it as black and white as within the altercation. I see a person who's trying to get away. I honestly see that as a person who's trying to get away. I really do. I'm going to say it. Let's continue. Okay. As part of his defense, Chaudhry, hopefully I'm saying the lawyer's name correctly, but claimed Jabari was the aggressor in the car, pointing to the fact that Major's coat was ripped and the fact that Jabari is seen on surveillance video running after Jonathan Majors down the street after the initial alleged altercation in the car. Jabari said that she ran after him to find out who sent the text. I'm done. But we all saw the run. We all saw her running. You know what I mean? She's a runner. She's a track star. We all saw that. Chaudhry further argued Jabari was uninjured after leaving the car and had gone, quote unquote, revenge partying at a club where she bought champagne on Major's credit card. That is a piece of information that I clearly did not know. So that's very interesting as well. She went out and said F him and swiped his card while still being able to use her right hand, which she said had been injured. Jabari testified that she had sought help from 3 strangers on the street after the first altercation in the car, and they then invited her to a club, which she accepted in order to seek comfort after the alleged incident. Chaudhry implied that Jabari had injured herself later after drinking throughout the evening and then returning to their shared apartment and taking some chemicals. Majors, who had stayed at a hotel after leaving the car, returned to the apartment in that morning, called 911 when he found her, passed out. In addition to the video surveillance footage, which is also included which also included footage of Jabari at the club. Evidence shown to the jury by prosecutors included photos Jabari took of her bruised hand, laceration behind her ear, while back at the apartment, and body cam footage from officers when they arrived. Prosecutors also introduced a series of texts into evidence, which could prove damaging to Major's reputation, as they brought about several alleged incidents that happened during the course of between Major's and Jabari's relationship. They alleged a pattern of which they said explained why Jabari had not immediately told police officers that Majors had caused the injuries. Now, you remember what I said earlier, okay? Remember what I just said earlier. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. She went out and did it was what they said earlier. Revenge partying, like an F-em night. F-em. Now, let me keep it a buck. Let me keep it a buck, okay? If and this would never happen, but if I was caught cheating, okay? If I was in Jonathan Major's shoes and I was caught cheating, one, I wouldn't be surprised. The guttural physical reaction of the girlfriend, their reaction, I wouldn't be surprised, right? And of course, you try to take the high road of getting as far away from the situation as you can, because obviously she angry. She angry as hell. You just cheated. Clearly. Makes complete sense to, makes complete sense that she would be pissed. Okay. The revenge partying, I'm not sitting here saying that I condone it. I don't, but I do get it. To go out and have a good time and just release some of that tension, hang out with your friends and blah, 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 do whatever you need to do. The credit card thing, I think that's kind of crazy, but hey, you just caught your man cheating. I'm not surprised that she went out and did those things, but it's everything afterwards. It's everything before that too. Okay. It's the running after him, trying to find out where he got who's texting him, right? The altercation didn't calm down at all. It kept staying at 100 the entire time, to the point where they went back into the car, and even still there was altercations going on in the car. That's not great. Like I said, it just doesn't make sense to be going the way, just doing what they're doing right now. Just chill out. And I get it. It's that, what's that song? Hit 'em up style. Okay. Hey, ladies, if you catch your man getting buck wild, you know what I mean? I get that part. Not surprised about that. She didn't go out and go buy Louis and all the other stuff. She just went and drank Ciroc. Maybe that's not the right one to use, but she went and got shots of went and bought champagne and stuff on a card. But we still don't know what she ended up doing when she got home. And again, I get her being mad. I get it. And God knows what she's thinking in her drunk mind. But maybe, like I said, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And she's sitting there going, I've been here with him, and I don't know how long they've been together, but let's keep it a buck. Maybe there were some times when he was broke. There were times where he didn't have the money like he does now. So on and so forth. I've been here since day one. I supported him in the most worst times ever. Blah, blah, blah. And then, she's sitting there going, I need to get, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Okay. 2 years. I didn't know. 2 years. Damn. That's a long time. Okay. But still, she's sitting there going, how dare this man do this to me? Brah. Drinking. And she starts thinking crazy thoughts. I don't know. But again, All of this went down because of a text message and because he hurt her feelings. Let's keep it a buck. And I thought black men don't cheat. Remember that? Remember black men don't cheat? That guy? Remember him? And that was funny. That was funny. So, to me, I still believe that this is a situation of hell hath no fury. Like a woman scorned. That's what I think. And she got the ultimate revenge. She just tarnished his entire career, his whole name. She got the ultimate revenge. Hate to say it like that, but she did. As much as she's probably, when they made the verdict, when the verdict was announced, she's probably like, quivering the lower lip and all that stuff. But I'm guarantee you in the back of her mind, she's going, gotcha, mother. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. And the footage brings a lot of gray area. It's crazy. It's crazy. But let's continue here. The majors team made a major mistake by not letting him testify. Period. They literally thought this was going to be a ground ball, and it ended up being something completely different. I'm just saying, okay? But continuing on with his team, okay, Chaudhry, his lawyer, implied that Jabari had, well, I already said all that, okay? But because she was out, she was drinking, she was doing a thing, she may have hurt herself, etc. You know what I mean? In addition to the video surveillance footage, which also includes footage of Jabari at the club, evidence shown to the jury by the prosecutors included photos Jabari took of her bruised hand and the laceration, which we already know about that. And the body cam footage, the officers when they arrived, yes, they alleged a pattern of A, okay, which they said explained why she had not immediately called police. Okay, this is what the prosecutors were saying. They're saying the reason why she didn't call police right off the bat was because she was manipulated. And that's why they used those text messages. That's why they used the audio to paint a picture of this man talking down at her, telling her how she should be and how controlling he was. Then those text messages, let's keep it a buck, y'all. Those text messages where he's talking about doing the unthinkable to himself is not the best thing in the world. It's not good. It's no good. They're not good. So of course I could see why the jury goes, but those text messages are not good. They're not good. In fact, let's bring that back up again. Let's bring them back up again. Shall we? I mean, they not good. Okay? He refers to himself as a monster. Okay? A monster and a horrible man, or horrible if you're Midwestern. Horrible man. Okay? In these text messages. Let's take a look at those text messages again. And again, I want to point out, these are even his photos still. Anyway, interesting. Even these text messages are heavily redacted. Heavily redacted. So it does make you wonder, what is she saying in those text messages, right? What else is she saying in these text messages? Is she saying, because I can't believe I slipped and bumped my head? Or, oh man, I got so drunk that I tripped and fell down the stairs? Whatever it is, what was being said in these text messages? But they used them and they're redacted like a mug. Look at this. Look at all that. Brrrah. Nothing. Just a big black box. Okay? Says, I will not go to the doctor if you don't feel safe with me doing so or don't trust me to. I promise I would never mention you, but I understand your fear. Like, what in the But again, remember being a juror, okay? Sitting there doing your thing. You'd rather be doing something else, but you're in there and you're listening to them. And you got to hear all this stuff. And then suddenly they drop this and you're going, wait, what? She had a head injury that they don't even imply where she got the head injury from or who. You just have heavily redacted text messages. And in that, she says, I won't go to the doctor if you don't feel safe with me doing so or trust me to. I promise I would never mention you, but I understand your fear. Why would he be worried about her mentioning his name? Why would she even need to mention his name? You see what I'm saying? Jurors are sitting here seeing that and going, oh no, now the narrative is different. Oh, damn. Just saying. Okay. And then all this, him sitting there going, oh, you can't reject love if there is no love. It's just a lip service. I gave you love last night and this morning before I got out of bed. When you got up, you were not full of love at all. I didn't feel it at all. You could have just given me a hug or walked close to me or asked me if you could give me a hug, not the other way around. It works both ways. And then he goes into it's like not even, he just goes 0 to 1,000 really quick by saying some unthinkable things. I'm about to mill. I'm about to do something unthinkable. What? So people are looking at this and going, he's manipulating. He's controlling the situation. He's manipulating her by saying, I'm going to do this unthinkable thing to myself. Right? So the jury sees this and goes, oh, damn. Debbie just said, gave you love. Yes, he did say that. He says, I gave you love last night and this morning before I got out of bed. I'm just saying, it's very interesting. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, that's just one screenshot. So you see that and it's like, damn, there's more to this. There's more to this. And the jury is looking at that and going, oh, damn. Maybe there's something a little bit different going on here, right? Moving on. In one of the texts sent between Majors and Jabari in September of 2022, this is of last year, guys. Last fall, Majors appeared to dissuade Jabari from seeking medical attention. Like I just told you guys, we just saw the text messages from an injury. How she sustained the injury was not discussed, which I call trash on, because it could be anything, y'all. That could be anything, y'all. They will ask you questions, and of course, again, it could be anything, and it could be exactly what we're thinking. You see what I'm saying? I'm sorry, but we have to say it like that. They do not go into detail about that, which is trash. But they still throw it out there like, blah, here it is. Oh, and also, by the way, when she was on the stand for those 4 days, during those 4 days, she still said that he never put his hands on her. Except, I mean, obviously that night. But aside from that, nothing. Never put his hands on her. So they use this. She suffered an injury, but we're not going to tell you how she got it. But we're still going to use it to make it seem like something else. Possibly. But okay. So they will ask you questions. I don't think we already read this, okay? Oh, actually, I didn't read that part. So they said they will ask you questions, and as I don't think you actually protect us, it could lead to an investigation, even if you do lie and they suspect something. And that's what Majors wrote. Aside from her going, oh, no, I wouldn't do that to you type stuff. These texts were initially deemed inadmissible, but then were able to be shown by prosecutors to jury members following a line of cross-examination questions from Major's defense team that Judge Gaffey said lacked specificity. It lacked specificity. Prosecutors also played a recording, Jabari said, she made of Majors without his knowledge, by the way, without his knowledge. But we already know about the Coretta Scott King and the Michelle Obama and the whole "I'm a great man" type thing. Members of the jury were instructed to view this as background information rather than evidence of propensity to commit a crime. And yet they still, after all that, even when there was lacked specificity, which I agree, and all that, the man was still found guilty of A and H. Yes, they aren't first degree, but he still was found guilty of these things, y'all. Hamburger. I'm surprised. I am surprised. But I do think that the part I think the jury was looking at mostly, I think, is when he picked her up and put her into the car. That's the only piece that you see where he is literally physically moving her in that way. Everything else from what we've seen is him pushing away, trying to get away, like trying to pry himself away from her clutches. So much that his jacket pocket rips and buttons pop off and all that stuff. But this is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let me get some of these super chats. All right. Robin D, thank you so much for the 5. It's a damn shame that she will not be prosecuted. Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like it's, if anything, it's both of them. Okay. Both. But let's continue. K Bragg, thank you so much for the 5. A black man in America wanted Michelle Obama, but still chose Carolyn Bryant from the white motherland. I mean, the outcome was inevitable. You know, when it comes to and I know everybody's using the race card, throwing that out, and it's easy to go down that route for sure. Okay. And yeah, I get it. I see it too. It's ridiculous. But I also look at the way that this was approached. And I think on his side of everything, just looking at you love who you love. If you want to date outside your race, date outside your race. That's on you. Okay. If you want to date be in a same sex marriage or whatever, same sex relationship and all that stuff, that is on you. That is your relationship. That is your life. Enjoy your life. Be happy. That's what I think. But outside of all that, okay, outside of that, this piece, as far as the court, as far as the case and this trial goes, I think Jonathan Majors his team made very poor decisions on what they were going to do, like as far as their approach with the argument. I think it would have been crucial if they did their due diligence, let this man get on the stand and put his testimony out here for everyone to hear as well. The fact that he did not say anything does kind of show that he was too scared, or he felt like there was he was guilty in some sort of way. I'm not saying that he is, but I'm saying it could give the jury a vibe of he was scared to speak because he didn't want to get caught either in a lie or caught in admitting some sort of guilt. That does not make, that is, I say, the part that shot him in the foot with this whole thing. And again, she was up there for 4 whole days. So for 4 whole days, the jury is seeing her going through these things. They're emotionally getting attached to her, getting swayed by her, because I'm sure she was, because I read reports of her getting emotional and all that. Okay. But then you have all the other evidence that I'm wondering if Jonathan Majors' team did that too, if they brought the stuff out. You see what I'm saying? But they didn't. So it doesn't like outside of the race thing. Okay. Outside of all this, if this was Meagan Good versus Jonathan Majors, still, I would still say the same thing. There was no proper work done on Jonathan Majors' side. They screwed the pooch on this one. They most definitely did. Doesn't matter. Meagan, Becky, or a Grace, okay? Don't matter, okay? The approach was wrong and bad, and that's why he was found guilty. They did not come in with strong enough stuff. And I think they thought that by just showing the footage, showing her out kicking it that same night after the altercation was just going to suffice. No, they needed more smoking gun evidence, it looks like. They still needed to do a little bit more deep dive, more due diligence to bring a win for Jonathan. Yes, he still walked away with not guilty on 2 counts, but he still has 2 counts on him. And that's tarnishing his career. Even if it is financial, even if it's counseling and all that, he still is going to be looked at as like some violent dude. And that's trash. He ain't a real life boxer. He ain't a MMA fighter. He ain't any of these other things where before I get into this next super chat, I noticed that other people that are known for being aggressive individuals, their career is being aggressive. Shoot, look at Mike Tyson, for example. I mean, people still love and embrace him. And he's been in jail for very violent things. Okay. And yet people just go, oh no, he's a boxer, so it makes sense. This is an actor. That's all I'm saying. He is not a known fighter. He ain't a boxer. He ain't somebody who's in like some sort of martial arts of some sort. He is just an actor. He does some bodybuilding, pumps some iron, eats less carbs, gets ready, looks good naked, and he says lines, to be or not to be, and that's it. He ain't known to be an aggressive individual where he'll just go, oh, it works with his brand. No, it doesn't. He's an actor, damn it. Okay. Career's done. Or at least tarnished. He won't be leads in anything anytime soon. I will say that. Robin D, thank you so much for the 5. There's more about the DA brag and about the DA brag and the prosecutors and how they treat black men. Do the research on previous DV cases. You will see. Oh yeah, no, and I definitely agree with that. There's a lot of things when it comes to being black in this type of situation and all that. But I do look at what could have been done to exonerate or show innocence even more. And I don't think that and I think one of the big moves that they messed up on was not bringing him up. That's what I feel. That's what I think. Okay. Now, I know somebody sent me a video for me to check out, but I haven't gotten a chance to check it out because 15 minutes later, the verdict of this came out. So I was like, okay, I need to pull this up and chop it up with you guys so we can talk about the verdict itself. And I know, that a lot of people are going to be pulling the race card into this situation and all that. The trial's the trial. And if you guys feel that he didn't get a fair trial, that is up to you guys. But I also think that there's certain decisions that could have happened that would have been different. Let me tell you this. Let me ask you guys this. If he went up, because I know everybody's going to be like, oh, look at that, taking a black man down. Listen, I feel that pain. Okay. I feel that frustration too. But listen to this. He had options. His team had options. And they did not exercise every single option. They did not exhaust every single option. And I'm not a lawyer, but I feel like there could have been more in this situation, and they didn't. Now, if he did go and take the stand and he was up there for 4 or 5 days doing his thing, right? Would we, and he still was found guilty of 2 of the 4, would we still be going, oh, look at that, another black man being knocked down? Or no? I'm just asking. Look at the situation. Look at the choices that his team made. His team did not make those decisions. They made the wrong decisions. That's what I'm trying to say. They didn't even exercise that part at all. So imagine if he actually took the stand and said his piece, and he still was found guilty of 2 and not guilty of the other 2. That's when I feel like it would be like, oh, I get it. The taking the black man down. Here we go. Blah, blah, blah. I get that piece, but they didn't even exercise that in this trial at all. So can we really use that fully? We should be looking at his team being like, damn, y'all dropped the ball. I mean, that's just what I think. Be a different story if it was like, oh, the judge stopped him from being able to go up there and say his piece, right? Oh, he's, we don't need him up there. Like some crazy, corrupt way of stopping him from going up there to speak. You see what I'm saying? Then I could totally be like, yes, I agree with you 100%. Oh my God. You know what I mean? But this, they had options and they did not exercise them. Let me get the super chat. K Bragg, thank you so much for the 10. JD was found not liable and is a legendary actor, and Hollywood is still not messing with him. So yeah, Jonathan is done. Maybe he can go to Zeus Network with Blueface and Krishan. Let me just say this. Okay, so I understand that Jonathan is starting. Okay, JD is still starting to, like, from my understanding, he's working on newer projects and he's got other things coming up. Hollywood is starting to embrace him again, slowly but surely, but he's still out here making movies. And it's also because the AHJD trial was just so in your face. Okay. You couldn't miss that at all. And I think a lot of things during that trial exonerated him, showed his innocence and whatnot. And I know that there's another part of the world that still thinks that he's guilty as hell, and there could very well be that. But you look at you look at how she was on that stand, it was bad. So it helped him. So Hollywood is still messing with him. And it's not like I'm sitting here saying that Hollywood won't mess with JD. Like I said, they still messing with Mel Gibson. Think about that for a second. Mel Gibson, of all people. Remember him? Hope you get hard by a bunch of... Come on. We talking about Mel Gibson, and he's still out here making movies. He's still directing movies, acting in them, and all that stuff. He just did a movie with Mark Wahlberg. Seriously. They're just not putting his name out there like that. You see what I'm saying? But then again, I see that point. I see what you guys are saying. Like, it's Mel Gibson, and Mel Gibson is white and all that. Yes, it's a lot harder for black actors out here. It is. Let's keep it real. This is going to be tough for Jonathan Majors. It's going to be tough for Jonathan Majors. There's plenty of opportunities for Jonathan Majors to teach the art of acting, I guess. But you never know. You never know. You got to remember, there's going to be people who are going to feel some type of way about this and not want to work with him. But there will be another part of the world that will embrace Jonathan Majors and feel that he was robbed of this conviction, right? So we'll see about that. But hey, let me open up the phone lines. Let me do that. hold on one second. There we go. Robin, thank you so much for the 5. Hold on, before you guys called, the phone lines are not open yet. Okay. Whoa. Phone lines are not open yet. They're not open yet. Hold on. Tranquilo. Hold on 1 second. Thank you so much for the 5. Come on. Jeremy Renner and Josh Brolin had similar allegations. The phone lines are not open right now. Similar allegations, and no one is ready to no one is really talking about them now. I think talking about them now. Yes, it would be tough though. Jeremy Renner, isn't he Hawkeye? So Jeremy Renner's out here doing Marvel movies. If this is the Jeremy Renner I'm thinking of, right? Josh Brolin, isn't Josh Brolin in the Marvel movies too? So they doing just fine. They doing just fine. Josh Brolin and Jeremy Renner. I mean, Jeremy Renner got ran over by a snowmobile, like he ran himself over with his own snowmobile. So he's in the middle of like recovering right now. But at the same time, like he cool, right? That's Hawkeye. He making the Marvel movies. You know what I'm saying? And then Josh Brolin, same thing. He was Thanos. You know what I'm saying? So they doing okay. You know, for the most part, you know, crazy. Hold on. The phone lines are not open yet. I'll let you guys know when it does. K-Bragg, thank you so much for the 5. If you can rap a little, maybe Blue Krishan voice, we'll sign him to MILF Music. You know, that'd be hilarious. You know, I would see that. I would definitely, I would pay to see that moment happen. Let's keep it real. That umbrella guy, what's up, man? Majors opted for a trial for misdemeanor DV is wild. The optics, a black actor, Hollywood would treat him differently. They will. I mean, it's going to be tough for him, you know, for sure. It's already hard for a black actor to make it in Hollywood to begin with. Let's keep it real. We all know that. The pool is very small. The opportunities for good movies are extremely smaller, even. Okay. But then you got somebody like Tyler Perry who's making content out here, and now he might be looking at some very bad situations as well, which is crazy to me. But then I look at that and go, damn, Black Hollywood is getting effed in the A right now. Like wicked hard. Okay. And it's scary. It's scary to me. But again, I keep saying this too, that Black Hollywood definitely needs to expand. There needs to be more storytellers. There needs to be more big time filmmakers and names out here that are moving and shaking and making great content. We can't just wait for that one black movie a year that we're all hype about. Because if we look at, and I hate to say like black and white Hollywood and all that stuff, okay? But when we look at white Hollywood, every month there's some new big blockbuster movie that everyone's hype about. But when it comes to Black Hollywood and black movies, like everyone's hype about the color purple. My dogs agree, okay? My dogs absolutely agree. They're like, sup with that, man. But you got Color Purple right now, which I'm sure is going to be amazing. I haven't seen it yet. I'm sure it's amazing. But that's the movie of the year. That's the black film of the year that everyone gets super hype about. And that is it. Every month, there's something new. Every 2 weeks, there's a new movie that we're like, oh, snap. Oh, wow. You know, Tom Cruise is in this. This is going to be fire. You know what I mean? We see all these other movies created by other production houses every single month. Something that's either going to stream on Netflix or it's going to be in the movie theater. We're always hype about it, but we still are in that situation where it's that one big black blockbuster movie a year. And I'd love to see something that has nothing to do with slavery. Okay. I would love to see that. That would be amazing. I'm going to say it. I don't care. Don't get me wrong. Slavery movies definitely needed. Okay. But at the same time, the great movie is always something about that. It's like, come on, let's expand our brains a little bit. You know what I mean? You got You got Tom Cruise making movies in space. Why can't you have like a black Tom Cruise in space too? You know what I'm saying? What about a black Marvel movie aside from Black Panther type movie? You know what I'm saying? Damn. Let's expand a little bit. Damn it. You know, and because once we lose, like, because if the situation goes the way I think it's going to go with Tyler Perry, if we lose that, we ain't gotten really nothing. Got not a damn thing. We got a couple great black directors, but none of them are commercial. None of them are commercialized. We don't know about them like that. A lot of times you see a movie and you're like, oh, he's black? He directed that movie? You don't even know his damn name. You know what I'm saying? That needs to change. I'll get off my soapbox. Kate Bragg, thank you so much for the 5. Now Jonathan being stuck as a dark-skinned bad guy in the next Medea film. I mean, shoot. I mean, he's got a brand now. Okay, he played a great villain in Creed 3. He did. So I could see him playing some bad guys, literally. You know, is his career really over? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know about all that, cabrón. You know what I mean? We'll see. But, okay, I'm sorry. The phone lines are open now. What up, Tug? Hopefully you're doing well. Okay, thank you so much for chiming in, putting in your comment there. That really does mean a lot. Always good to see you in the comments. I know we don't see you very often in the comments, but it's nice to see you in the comments, bruh. The phone lines are open. I'm going to say this really quick. Keep it short. Keep it sweet. Keep it respectful, or I'm hanging up on that ass. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, we already got a phone call. Everybody's ready off the gate. Let's go. And everybody hit the number 1 if you guys can hear this. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Pascal. It's Natasha. I'm calling from Long Island, New York. How are you?
What's up, Natasha? First in line today. What's on your mind? Speak on it.
I think this whole Jonathan Majors is a clear indication of someone didn't teach this girl rejection.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people have learned how to deal not just with relationships now, just rejection in life. How to handle it, how to maneuver around it. Just like with jobs, with friends, you know, not getting invited to the parties. Just things is people take it to such high extremes now. Like they don't know how to handle the no. I mean, I've been in situations where I've been out, you know, last night I was in New York City and there was a guy running and a girl was chasing after him. And now in my experience, if a guy is running and a girl is chasing him, he's done. he wants nothing to do with you anymore. It's a wrap. But I feel like this is what's happening now. Like no one's telling you how to handle relationships when they need to be over. People don't know how to sit down and have a conversation. Like, listen, it's not working out anymore. We need to go our separate ways. Or people end up doing bad things like cheating on each other. Like people think cheating, you know, people have different opinions. You know, everyone's in the chat about different opinions of cheating. People think cheating is a get out of jail free card. Why just cheat, you know, instead of talking about, I didn't want to be with you anymore. So I just cheated, you know.
Right.
So it's like sit down and have a conversation, talk about it. You know, I just feel like if you just talk about it, you know, things get out of control. People may raise their voices, you know, everyone can't be civilized 24/7. No one's perfect, but I think if people learn how to deal with rejection better, maybe the situation would have had escalated to this, because now she's in too deep. So it's like she can't just say in front of America, you know, I lied. Yeah. He's a great guy, or you know, I'm so sorry to him, because now she, you know, quote unquote, she's got everyone on her side. She got what she kind of wanted, but it's gonna eat at her. At the end of the day, she's gonna have to put her head on that pillow. And she's going to have to realize, and it's going to hit her one day, oh my God, like, what did I do? And the karma's going to come back to her. It may not come today. It may not come tomorrow, but it's definitely going to come back to her. Yeah. That's just my take on it.
No. And I appreciate you putting in your 2 cents there. And I agree. I think that, you know, you're right. I mean, what you said in the very beginning, you said, hey, if you see a guy running away from a girl, clearly, and they were in a relationship or whatnot. Clearly, it means that the dude's done. Like, just let it be what it is. And I get the piece of finding out that you're being cheated on, and I get the guttural reaction of being angry and trying to find out the truth, because I know that a lot of people, especially when you find out, oh, you've been cheated on, it'll be like, who is it? How long has it been happening? When did this whole thing start? There's all those questions that pop up in somebody's mind after the fact, right? And I think with this, I understand the anger, right? I understand the guttural reaction, the visceral reaction, but there's also the other thing too, which is I think we watch way too much reality TV. I think we watch way too many clips on TikTok and X and YouTubes and the whatevers, Instagrams, where it's all world star hip hop type stuff, where there's retaliation, there's ridiculous reactions to certain things. People get hurt, and it's all on video because the man got caught cheating or the girl got caught cheating and all that. And and I feel like there's no level of no one knows, it seems, how to react to a situation in a diplomatic way anymore. That's what I think. When you say, oh, for someone who's, I'm sure, lived a very privileged life, it seems like, she never was told no in a way. And so when we see these things, and and when you're used to somebody saying yes to you all the time, what's going to be the reaction? What's going to be the thing when something goes away that you didn't want it to go? You retaliate. You basically throw a spoiled brat kind of temper tantrum in a way. And I think that's what we saw in that situation. I mean, I think it was combined with a bunch of things, but I think there's just too much going on here where we're not learning, or their people are not learning about how to just be tactful, to be diplomatic, to approach a situation in a more cognitive type of approach rather than it being so damn visceral. And but we see this all the time. We're seeing, speaking of Blueface and Krishan, we're seeing stuff where people are getting people are dropping their own self-worth or their own dignity even less by throwing things at people on stages type stuff because of why. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm not justifying, because there's a big viral video about Blueface throwing some girl off of a stage and all that stuff because he threw ice at his fiance and all that. And in my mind, I'm like, where did we go? How did we get down this low as a community, as a people, that we can't even respect people, people's privacy or boundaries. That's what I mean. You see what I'm saying? It's getting crazier and crazier as time goes on, and it's getting less and less. And it's all because we're watching too much crap on TV, and it's like, oh, that's how we're supposed to retaliate. No, it's all about ego.
Of it's fake.
And a lot of it is fake.
Most of it's fake.
A lot of it is fake, but that's the situation that we live in. This is the world that we live in. It is frustrating. You see what I'm saying? So instead of this conversation, understandably, I get her being pissed. Trust, I get her being pissed. But keep your hands to yourself and find another way of getting the point across rather than starting to throw bows on them. I don't know. And then it gets to this place. It doesn't need to be here. We did not need to go to this end result. Everything could have been done differently, and it wasn't, unfortunately. But Natasha, thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it. Okay.
No problem. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello. You're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I got time for you, Pascal. This is Kim from Georgia.
Kim from Georgia. What's on your mind? Speak on it.
I think I really don't understand the verdict. I mean, we all saw the video of him trying to get away from her showing up drunk in his closet or something, all that stuff. So the verdict just seems very odd to me. the other thing is that, oh, my goodness. I really like Jonathan Majors as an actor. I think he's an excellent actor. I've enjoyed everything I've seen him in. But it appears to me, at the very minimum, I mean, there's a lot going on with that young man, it seems to me. And maybe part of what's going on with him is that this relationship that he was in is, at minimum, toxic.
Oh yeah, I mean we can all agree that this is an extremely toxic relationship without a shadow of a doubt.
My God.
Yeah, this is bad. This is bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
It's really bad. It's I mean, it's like ridiculously bad. Like, if I knew these young folks, I would be just like, y'all should just break up and just be friends and just leave it at that.
Actually,
because
don't be
clearly,
friends. Just go your separate ways and go with God.
Or just go, yeah, better yet, just go your separate ways, because this is clearly not working out. It just the whole situation just seems highly, highly toxic, and it seems like it's been carried out to the nth degree, because now the law's involved.
Right.
He's been found guilty. I don't know how the jury. I would just love to hear a jury person be interviewed.
Yeah.
And explain how they came to the conclusion they came to, because I'm just not seeing it. I'm not saying Jonathan Majors is an angel.
Yeah.
You know, he's a talented actor, but I'm not saying he's perfect. But I don't think that whatever happened between them rose to the level of assault, in my opinion. Now, maybe I haven't seen everything out there there is to see, but from what I have seen, most of it seems like he was trying to get away from her, and she was out drinking and carousing and partying.
Yes.
with these people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you know, and I've said this in another show before, and I still think this to this day. I think that there was a huge rift between them because of her alcohol use, or maybe other things too. I don't know. But one thing,
cheating.
I mean, I don't know about cheating, but I think the cheating started to happen, one, because he started getting more money, he started getting more power, and he's starting to be around more good-looking people. I think those things are a factor. And also, I think that he was getting turned off by, and this is all speculation, of course, but I think he was getting turned off about how she was conducting herself out here in these streets when he's with her. Meaning, she's showing up drunk, she's lashing out, she doesn't know how to act right, and he's sitting there going, "Well, shoot, now I'm becoming, a person where I could possibly have options now, and I'm with this particular choice, and she's not acting right, and I could possibly find somebody better now because I'm Jonathan Majors." And I think that's what's going on here. You know what I mean?
Well, he was certainly up and coming. That's for sure. He's an up and coming actor.
True.
He was certainly on his way, as it were. And although I don't know about that statement about, "Oh, I'm a great man." Okay, we'll put that aside for now.
Yeah.
But I think the larger point is, listen, I'm on my way. We have a plan. I'm on this trajectory. I need the person I'm with to not be out drinking and carousing and acting a fool.
Right.
So I need you to kind of get that together and not be out here, because if you're associated with me, then that could, whatever behaviors you're out there doing could blow back on me, and that's not a good look.
Exactly.
That part I get.
And I think
but the way they twisted it to make it sound like, oh, he's crazy, he's verbally abusing her, he's doing this to her, he's doing that to her. I didn't take it that way, even though I thought, oh, I'm a great man. Oh, you should be like Michelle Obama. I thought that might have been going a tad too far.
Yeah.
Oh, be like Coretta Scott King. That might have been going just a little bit too far. But the overall point was there.
Yeah. I mean, I get what he was trying to say there. It is it is a bit extreme, but
Yeah.
but but I understand you're trying to level with the person that you're with. You're trying to give them a chance in a way, try to get them to understand
Yeah.
what your mindset is and what you want to see for the future. And they're out here, gallivanting in such a way that you think that is not cool. But but at the same time, I feel like,
I mean, if she's out there drinking and being drunk,
right.
And, doing God knows what, and that's not the best look. Maybe what he should have said is be like Pauletta Washington.
Right.
Denzel's one. Right. Just be cool.
Yeah.
And chill.
Right.
Kind of cut back on some of this drinking and stuff.
Exactly.
And maybe that was the source of their issue.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this really
ahead.
quick. Do you think that he is guilty or not? Like, okay, what are your thoughts on the verdicts himself?
So. I don't think he was guilty.
Okay.
Everything from what I saw, I don't think he was guilty.
If there was a history,
too much.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Say that again.
If there's a history, it's hard to speculate on a history because everything that I saw was, of that evening.
Right.
And even the car service driver said, I didn't see him touch her or hit her or anything like that. And even she has said he's never done anything like this before.
Exactly.
So I'm not sure where the quote unquote history came from. Now, could he be verbally abusive? Well, maybe.
Yeah.
But verbal abuse and physical abuse are not the same.
Absolutely. Definitely not the same.
He didn't put hands on her. He might have been talking big stuff, but he didn't put hands on her.
But see, but then you have the text messages that did come out. And what's frustrating is she says, oh yeah, he's never touched me ever. And then the text messages come out and they redact things and they try to make it seem like he put his paws on her. And then of course he's manipulating her by saying, oh, I'm about to do some unthinkable thing to myself. Like I said, just aggravating. Just aggravating.
Even the text messages, they were heavily redacted. So we don't know what all was going on in the text messages. So, and with the heavily redacted text messages, the fact that the car driver said he didn't touch her, he didn't hit her or anything like that.
Right.
And even her saying, oh, he's never done anything like that. I'm not a lawyer either, but it seems to me that there could have been enough reasonable doubt created, or you could have looked at that and said, look, there's enough reasonable doubt here.
Yeah.
That he's not guilty.
But I do
now,
think
he might.
Go ahead.
He might be verbally abusive. He might be kind of a jerk. He might be all of that, but I don't think he hit her. I don't think he abused her. I don't think he harmed her physically. All the stuff I saw was either she was out drinking and carousing and hanging out and having a great old time, and the video where he was actually running away from her.
Yeah.
So with all of that, there seems to be like there's enough reasonable doubt there to say that he's not guilty.
Yeah.
He's not guilty of what he's being accused of. Now, could he be a jerk? Sure.
Yeah.
He could be. I don't know him.
Yeah. I mean, the history side of it is, questionable. Because, because he's not being on trial for the history. He's on trial for the actual event that happened in March. And I think that's one of the things that all of us, of course, are reacting to and wondering, okay, does what he did in the past have anything to do with what happened in that particular moment in time that we saw on those surveillance videos? And I guess, the jury found he was guilty of these two charges. And, it's interesting. But Kim, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much for calling in. Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so the phone lines are done. Speak on It is over, just so you guys know, because we do have some breaking news. and I wanted to share this with you guys. And thank you guys so much for calling in. You guys are awesome, as always. Okay. But we do have some new information, which I find to be extremely interesting. And like I said, this verdict starts it all. Get ready for it. I know a lot of y'all already talked about this in the chat, but it is very true. Marvel Studios has dropped Jonathan Majors following guilty verdict for A and H. I'm just going to let that sink in for a second, guys. What did I say earlier? This is not only going to be tarnishing, his own record, right? This is all now destroying the brand he's been building, the brand that he's been cultivating and working on for so long. Now that he has been found guilty on these 2 charges, at least 2 out of the 4, this is exactly what Marvel Studios has been waiting for. They've been waiting for a verdict. And they said, hey, we're going to wait. They even said that. We're not going to say anything. We're not going to say anything yet until we get a verdict. Or that's what we all assume. Because they said they haven't made any announcements, they haven't said anything about whether they're going to be letting him go or not. But the man has been dropped as Kang from the upcoming movies that he's been planning on doing with Marvel. What did I say before? This is just the beginning. At first, it's going to be his management team. It's going to be the other things, some other production houses, smaller production houses that aren't going to release the movies that he was working on and all that. So then he can't get more monies. Now him as Kang is gone, all because of this verdict. It's sad. Let's take a look at this, y'all. Let's take a look at this article here. So, Marvel Studios has parted ways with Jonathan Majors, the actor cast to play Kang, the central antagonist in the multiverse saga for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, after he was convicted on, today, but December 18th, of 2 misdemeanor counts of H&A of Grace Jabari, his ex-girlfriend. A source close to the studio confirmed the decision to Variety. Do you know how fast this decision was? Do you know how fast this decision was? They said, oh, he guilty? All right, we dropping him. But I'm telling you right now, they already had plans in motion. They were just waiting for this verdict. On God, they were just waiting for this verdict to drop. Because they were like, hey, if he's found innocent on all, we'll be like, hey, Johnny baby. And if he's found guilty, well, hey, man, good luck with the next project. We decided to go a different direction this time, so on and so forth. But they were definitely waiting for this to go down. Okay, so in the verdict, Major was also found not guilty. And we already know about that. Okay, we already know about all this stuff. Him being arrested on March 25th because the A and H charges, after Jabari accused him of A-ing her in the backseat of a private car after she took his phone that had a text message basically saying like, I wish I was kissing you type stuff. Okay. Of course, he's still, I'm sure to this day, and I think till he dies, he's going to be denying that he attacked Jabari. His defense team has alleged that she was the aggressor when she took his phone. I'm going to tell you this, though. I agree. I think she was the aggressor. And I'm going to keep saying that till I'm blue in the face. I really do think that she was the aggressor. But one of the things that destroyed this whole thing, and I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face, they did not put him up to speak on his own behalf. They thought that bringing up the cab driver, bringing up footage from the security cam, from street cams and whatnot, and her out here partying because she was doing some revenge partying type thing. They thought that that was going to be enough. And it wasn't. They did not exhaust every option, in my personal opinion. And that's where I think they screwed up. Now, because of that, he's losing millions and millions of dollars now. Because you know what? Marvel Studios dropping Jonathan Majors is just the beginning. It's just the beginning, guys. There was other, this is a big hit, by the way. Huge hit. You got to understand, they had a whole universe, whole breakdown of whatever phase this is, phase 17 by now, it feels like, for the Marvel universe. They had a huge plan where he was going to be the central bad guy. He was going to be the new round of Thanos. He was going to be Thanos this time around. That's a huge thing. And no, he wasn't going to be some big purple dude. It was going to be his face. And he would be able to act every single character and all that stuff because he's a talented dude. He really is a talented actor, damn it. But now they have to reconstruct or go a completely different route. Do you realize all the writers in Marvel are probably in a room right now or first thing tomorrow morning, and they have to redirect and rewrite a whole new through line with a completely different villain now? I don't think you guys realize that. There's a lot of work, and they by them dropping him, they're also dropping crap tons of millions of dollars now to pay to reconstruct a whole other thing. And I'm sure they already had things set in motion before this all went down, before the verdict was dropped, but they're still doing those things. They're still doing that. And now, a very talented actor, Jonathan Majors, is now losing that part. And I keep wondering, are they going to rewrite everything or just recast him with somebody else? That's another question I have too. I mean, Damson Idris from Snowfall, he's looking for a gig, I'm sure. He's talented as hell too. Maybe they just give it to him. I don't know. But all I'm saying is this is bad news for him. This is a bad year for Jonathan Majors, for real. K Bragg, thanks so much for the 10. I saw a lawyer on YouTube say if he took the stand to say he put her in the car for her safety versus allowing the prosecution to say he was reckless, he could have beaten the case. See, I'm not crazy. Damn it. I'm not crazy. I told y'all I ain't crazy. See, that's what I'm saying. I get it. We want to go down the route of, race card. By all means, hey, yes, it's hard to be a black man in this country. It's hard to be black in this country, period. Let's keep it real, okay? There's a lot of stigmas and all that BS attached to a lot of things, just being black, and it sucks. But they did not exercise every option, and one of the main things was they did not put him on the stand, period. And that's why I'm angry about it. They didn't even give it a chance. They said, no, take several seats. JM, we good. His lawyer said, I got this, bruh. I got this, sit down. And what happened? Now he just lost Kang. Anyway, guys, that's the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot, really. It really does. Thank you so much for the phone calls. Thank you so very much for the super chats. It really does mean a lot. Okay. Looks like I'm going to be doing my Christmas special on Saturday. Okay. We're going to have a small little Christmas special hangout type of thing. I'm very excited. Can't wait to share with you guys some holiday cheer and all that. Okay. But still, I know a lot of people are reacting to this and feeling some type of way about this, but I'm just saying right now, hey, this goes to show to you that you have got to 110%. Make sure that you keep your doggone hands to yourselves. Period. Keep your hands to yourself. That's all I'm saying. I think that's all we need to do and what we all need to remember. And if you're in, let me say this too, let me roll this down a little bit. If you're in a terrible, toxic relationship, like let me just highly recommend, get out of it. Just go. Okay? Toxic relationships are not worth it. Leave. If you live with the person and you don't know where you think, oh, I can't go because I have no place to go. There's plenty of friends that have couches. Plenty of friends that have couches. I just want to make that abundantly clear. Call a friend. Don't stay. Don't stick around. Don't wait for that ultimate altercation. You know what I'm saying? We all need to know our limits. We all need to know when enough is enough. And I'm not talking about Diddy. But we all need to know when enough is enough. If there's red flags in the relationship and that person continues to do so over and over and over again, get gone. Get gone. Get your stuff. Kick rocks. Somebody got a couch, a fold out, whatever that you can rest your weary, beautiful little head on. And you will be away from that toxicity. Just saying. Okay? I appreciate all y'all for being here again. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the super chats and all that. We got a crazy week ahead of us. I still got to do the Ruby Frankie thing. Hopefully we'll be doing that a little bit later, so be on the lookout for that. Hit that like button down below, please and thank you. If you haven't done that yet, that'll be really appreciated. Okay, hit that thing. Yes, get it past 500 likes. Just get it right past that 500 likes. Okay, you know your man's working hard out here in these streets. Okay, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, please and thank you. Okay, you're watching on any other channel or platform, please hit that follow button, hit that like button. You know the deal. All right. I appreciate all y'all for being here. You guys are awesome. See? Come on. Hit the like for Pascal. Damn right. And of course, keep the comments going down below. Let me know what your thoughts are and all that. Please let me know. Okay. We got a lot to talk about, man. And I know the world's going to be very torn about this situation. And I understand. Trust me, I totally understand. But we got... Hopefully he comes out and talks, makes a statement, something. I think that's what we all need to. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being here. Again, have a blessed rest of your day. If I don't see you, I'm going to try to be back on in a couple hours, so be on the lookout for that, okay? Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.